Short intro today, Kade. No time to waste.
Getting right into it.
No time to waste. Welcome back to the Ross Bolin podcast. I am Ross Bolin here with producer Kade Orris. An eventful last 48 hours or so in the United States of America, Kade.
Sure has been, yep.
The leader of the most powerful country on earth and the richest man on earth have turned on each other, which is not something all that shocking. It's just that
You just didn't think it was going to happen so soon.
I didn't think it would happen this quickly.
Yeah.
His tenure as like an official government-appointed employee or whatever he technically was as the head of DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, only ended last week. And we're only, 6 months, what are we, 6 months in, almost 6 months into Trump's second term here as president. And him and Elon, when they teamed up, I guess you could say, back during the election, it certainly seemed like it was an inevitability that they would clash and that there would be a fallout, mostly because I'm not aware of a single person that the Don has ever teamed up with and not had a fallout with. Like, anybody that enters his orbit inevitably exits within a couple of years usually. Like, nobody from his first term is around for his second term, as an example. And then Elon is one of the more inflammatory, polarizing human beings on the face of the planet. So it's, and they're both fucking narcissistic egomaniacs. So it seemed inevitable that eventually there would be some kind of blow up. But the more weeks that passed, at least for me personally, the more that inevitable blow up started to move to the back of my mind. And I was like, man, maybe they are just going to be like this evil empire that thrives together. But no, which made yesterday absolutely incredible. On Thursday, June 5th, when this public fallout that had sort of begun several days before that with relation to this big, beautiful bill that Trump is trying to pass, and those are his words, not mine. But everything exploded yesterday, and it got very, very ugly. And first off, I should say, after Donald Trump won the most recent election, a lot of the liberals, the progressives, the libs, fled Twitter, otherwise known as X. They got the hell out of there. They went to Blue Sky. They went to Threads, both of which suck. They're fucking terrible. And they bailed, and they left the rest of us there to fend for ourselves. And then they came fucking running back when this implosion happened to get in on the action and enjoy the memes and the content and the jokes. And I just want to say up top, that is wrong. That is wrong.
Yeah, you chose your bed. Now you got to lay in it.
If you couldn't handle Twitter at its worst, you don't deserve it at its best. That's genuinely how I feel about it. So I was a little pissed off seeing all these libs come running back to dance on the Elon Trump, friendship grave, bromance grave, and get in on the content. Because, I stayed this whole time. I've been there this whole time, through all the bad days, to get to this one good one.
And there's been a lot of bad days on there.
A lot of bad, mostly bad days.
Mostly bad days.
I think you could argue every day on there is a bad day, but even yesterday. But this was a fun one. You get these rare, for those that are big Twitter addicts and have been for many years, there are certain days on Twitter that pop off. And it's so much fun when you get one of those days. There's usually only like a couple of them a year. They don't come that frequently. But yesterday certainly was one. So yeah, all the libs come running back. And here's the gist of the sequence of events that got us here. And Kade and I talked about this some on Patreon yesterday, patreon.com/Ross Bolin podcast, where we do an ad-free episode of our show every week that is available exclusively to our subscribers on Patreon. But I'm going to go a little deeper today, add a little more detail, and frankly, I have to squeeze this thing for all of its juice because it makes me happy. It makes me really, really happy. So Elon leaves his government position at Doge last week, and they do this big press conference in the Oval Office where him and Trump jack each other off, and Trump presents him with a golden key to nowhere. I don't even know what it is.
It doesn't unlock anything. It's just like a celebratory thing or something.
It's symbolic in some way.
And he says he gives them to only important people, but I'm pretty sure he just has like a drawer full of them.
Well, even as they were presenting it, as he was presenting it to Elon, he couldn't help himself but to minimize the significance.
Yeah.
Trump said something like, we give these to only the most important people, but I do. Well, I kind of give out a lot of them. I've given out a lot of them. They don't really mean much of anything at all. And anyway, here you go, Elon. It was really like he undermined the whole thing.
Yeah.
Which it's like he can't even let one person have a moment where they feel special. Mm-hmm. He's not capable of it. He has to fucking devalue it with some dumbass rant. He cannot help himself. So they suck each other off one last time publicly in the Oval Office. Elon's got this weird bruise on the side of his face that he chalks up to
his kid, yeah.
Little ex punched him because Elon told him to, which is great parenting. And then the fallout begins. And it starts with Elon tweeting things about the big, beautiful bill, which is the dumbest fucking name for a piece of legislation. Like, we're supposed to be a serious country, and clearly we're not, but we're supposed to be. The big, beautiful bill. Come on, man. Like, everything about this seems like it was made up by a fucking toddler. So Elon is upset about this bill. He says mostly because it's, quote, massive, outrageous, and pork-filled, and calls it a, quote, disgusting abomination. Basically, it raises our national debt like another $2.4 trillion or something like that, which right. Elon is staunchly against. His whole thing with Doge was that he feels America is headed toward inevitable bankruptcy because all we do is pile up debt, and he wanted to cut out wasteful and fraudful government spending. But then Trump is putting a bill in place that easily wipes out any gains that Elon may have made through Doge. So that's one part of it. And then apparently there was some electric vehicle mandate that was initially in this bill that Trump pulled out of it. That was part of the reason Elon got mad too. So that's the gist of how this started. He's chirping. Elon's chirping about his displeasure with the BBB. B cubed, as we'll call it. B cubed? Is it cubed?
Yeah.
It's
3, yeah.
So Trump eventually responds in the media. He's having like a meeting with a German chancellor. It has nothing to do with this, and he starts talking into the camera about how Elon has disappointed him. Inevitably, eventually, he says Elon went crazy, and then it's like Elon was sitting in his fucking dungeon that I assume he has, and watching the news on like 6 different screens while he sat at his computer logged into his X account and was just like live responding to things that Trump was saying, which is just crazy to think about. The richest man in the world and the most powerful man in the world going at each other like they're 17-year-olds in high school.
Right.
You know? Elon responds on Twitter saying Trump would have lost the election without him. He replies to his own tweet saying, such ingratitude from Trump. He starts quote tweeting all these old Donald Trump tweets from like 2012, 2013 about the debt ceiling and balancing the budget. And he's leaving smart-ass remarks like, I couldn't agree more, and wise words, because the things that Trump was tweeting in 2012 and 2013 run completely polar opposite to the things he's doing in office, which also should shock no one, which is part of the reason Elon is such an enigma to me, because he's supposed to be this genius, right?
Sure, that's what many people claim.
Many people say. Now, for anybody who knows anything about geniuses, they tend to have like an area of expertise where they are above and beyond everyone else in the world. But then in a lot of regular ass areas, they're kind of morons. Mm-hmm. And this is an example for me where it's like, if you thought the Don was going to do all the things he said he was going to do, then you're either a moron or you just haven't been paying attention. Either way, shocking that Elon would trust this man when so few people do, and think that he would actually stick to his word on things that he said in 2012 or 2013 is just, it was stupid.
That's over a decade ago.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
So he ends up Elon goes so far as to ask, like, what happened to Trump? Like, what happened to the man that tweeted these things? And then goes so far as to suggest that perhaps he was replaced by a body double, which is silly. No, you can't.
No one.
You can't duplicate that body.
No,
That body
that's
is
one of one.
Yeah, dude, that's a limited edition, man. They'll never make that body ever again. In response to that, Trump threatens to pull Elon's government subsidies for SpaceX and shit. He has like billions and billions of dollars in government subsidies for the shit that he does with his rockets. So Elon threatens to stop letting NASA use his rockets to shuttle astronauts back and forth from the International Space Station, which is obviously a big deal. Mm-hmm. And it just gets into this fucking bitter, contentious...
Feels like a lot of empty threats.
That too. Basically like a big dick contest.
Yeah.
Like, which one of us really has the most power? Mm-hmm. And frankly, I think that's the biggest question about this whole situation. Nobody really knows. Like, we don't really know.
Nope.
Like, Trump, obviously, as president, has a lot of power. Mm-hmm. But Elon, as the richest man in the world, obviously has a lot of power. I mean, Elon, in this whole fight, claims that Trump couldn't have gotten elected without him, that he wouldn't have won Pennsylvania without him.
Yeah, makes you think what he means by that.
It does, but at the same time, it also it was a huge turning point when Elon threw his weight behind the Republican Party and Donald Trump specifically. And you can easily argue that he did win him the election. I would take it one step further and argue that the combination of Elon Musk and RFK both getting on the Trump train is actually what won him the election. But frankly, I think if it had just been Elon and not RFK, Trump still would have won.
Yeah.
But if you take Elon out of that equation and the $250 million he put behind Trump's campaign, and even more importantly than that, in my opinion, the massive, massive cult of Elon sycophants and fanboys, I think Trump loses the election. Mm-hmm. So that's where the question of like who actually is more powerful comes into play. And I really don't know. And it's part of the thing I kind of hope we get out of this. Like, just before we get into the rest of the details, I want this to keep going. I want them to fight. Not physically, that'll never happen, but, like, I want them to keep fighting each other.
You mean just, like, subtweeting at each other?
Subtweeting, dropping subliminals in interviews.
Yeah.
I do not want them to get back together. I do not want there to be peace between these two people. I think the combination of them is bad for the whole fucking world. And I like the breakup. It's wildly entertaining to me. I don't particularly enjoy either of these men, so seeing them flail publicly is very fun, and so I don't want it to stop. And it gives us the chance to see, like, all right, if this becomes like a legit fight, who wins? Because what can happen is Elon turns completely on Trump, and he starts backing Trump adversaries for Senate seats, House seats, Congress, whatever. Like, puts his money behind other, I guess, potentially GOP or maybe even Democratic candidates to try and get the MAGA folks out of government. Mm-hmm. And that would be a really fun fight to watch unfold. So that's kind of what I'm rooting for. But anyway, so Elon says, then he's like, I got to drop a big bomb. I think he literally referred to it as a big bomb.
A big bomb, yeah.
And
big,
he says,
beautiful bomb.
Yeah, another BBB. The reason Trump won't release the Epstein files is because Trump is in them. And yeah. Yeah, he's in them.
That's why they're going to get released.
Yeah.
They said they were going to.
Yeah, it's why the first time he said he would release them, I was like, no, you're not. No, you're not, dude. You're all up on those flight logs and shit, brother. You're not. We all know you're not going to put these out there. But again, it's an example of like, did Elon genuinely believe there was ever a chance that he would put the Epstein files out? It's also a weird admission because it's like, yeah, I got a pedophile elected as president. Mm-hmm. That's what you're saying. You put $250 million behind this guy. That's $250 million. I'm arguing you won him the election. You're arguing you won him the election. And you're also arguing he won't release the Epstein files because he's in them. These are contradictory concepts. Like, what? It just makes it all even funnier and more disturbing. Trump tells the media he doesn't think they'll be talking anytime soon, that he's not ready for a phone call with him. Again, this is like, it's like so fucking, it's like eighth grade, bro.
High school shit.
Like, these are grown men. Like, Trump's like 75 years old. How old is Elon? 53 or something?
Oh, God.
He's 53. Like, 53.
Whew.
Beefing online
yeah.
with the prez. What a weird life this dude is living. Tesla stock dropped over 10% yesterday as this was all happening. Elon lost a total of $34 billion from his net worth in one day. It's the second largest loss ever in the history of the 500 wealthiest people on the planet, second to only himself in November of 2021.
Did he not lose a bunch with like the tariffs and stuff like recently when like all that stuff was
Not to
down?
that degree.
Not to that.
Not
Okay.
not to that massive degree. 34
Do you
billion.
know what happened in November 21?
No.
No.
Do
Okay.
you?
No, that's what I'm asking.
Elon starts then yesterday evening after I got off work when I was like, oh, this is fucking beautiful. This is so great. I love this. Elon started to seem like, based on some of his replies on Twitter, that he was sort of going to pussy out and not burn it all to the ground, which really bummed me out. He was responding to people that were calling for peace, saying things like, you're right. Like he loves to do these short little replies. And I was like, no, dude, no. Let the hate flow through you. And he also at one point tweeted a poll. Is it time to create a new political party in America that actually represents the 80% in the middle? And I think there's something around 6 million people have voted, and it's like over 80% yes. Which, yeah, that I'm down with. And I would prefer it not be something that is like bootstrapped by Elon or funded by Elon, but like that is desperately what we need in this country.
And like we have others, but they don't do
much.
They don't move the needle.
No, we got like, was it the Freedom Party?
The Green Party?
Teensy Tiny. Green Party,
And
also
the-
Teensy Tiny. Libertarian Party.
Yeah.
But none of these people move the needle.
No.
We you know, every I think in the 2020 election, we had,
You interviewed a candidate.
yeah, and I can't even remember her name, but she was the only candidate that was not named Joe Biden or Donald Trump on all 50 states' ballots.
Yeah.
Like, it's, you know, Kanye runs for president. That's not
Gonna
do anything.
No.
So yeah, like we need a legitimate third party, and you know, there's millions and millions of Americans who have felt this way for many, 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 many years. It's just funny that the dude who literally propped up the entire GOP and got Trump back in the White House is now the one getting on board with that thesis. Like, oh yeah, wouldn't that be a good idea? Represent the 80% in the middle, which I don't even know if that number is accurate.
yeah,
Elon says things. He just says things. So yeah, so the fallout has been crazy. The mainstream media and all of social media went completely nuts over this. It was fucking everywhere. The jokes were phenomenal. Congratulations to the citizens. Except then, and you knew this was going to happen, politicians started trying to get in on it.
Oh no.
Particularly the Democrats, like Chuck Schumer tweeted, "Hey Siri, play Bad Blood by Taylor Swift."
Oh, boo.
And normally, like when JD Vance tweeted out the photoshopped blown up face of JD Vance, like that ruined that joke for me. I was like, well, it's over. We had a good time, but
Yeah.
now it's over if JD's going to get in on
no,
it.
it's still pretty.
It still
fun.
hits.
Yeah.
But for like a couple weeks, it was ruined for me.
Yeah.
Now I'll see it and
Because
I'm like,
he's trying to get on the joke and like make it not hurt as bad.
yeah.
But like I think it's still.
Well,
it's
like yesterday, I saw a bunch of puffed up JD Vances
Yeah.
all over the place, bro. Like
people were like who gets JD Vance in the
divorce?
Yeah.
Yeah, they said he was upstairs eating Hot Pockets and playing Halo while his parents were getting a divorce downstairs. But I did not let the Democrats trying to get in on this, like fucking Chuck Schumer, ruin it for me.
No.
But it did sting a little. I was like, just shut. This is for citizens, dude.
Yeah.
This is not for y'all. This is our shit. Stay out of our playground. Fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're part of the problem, bro. You don't get to celebrate this fallout with us.
Yeah. Did you unmute Trump's name
No.
or Musk's name? So you're just getting everything without like.
Even if you have somebody like a word muted, you can still go search the word.
Okay. Oh, so you were like searching.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I
okay.
was dick deep in this, dude.
Okay. Because yeah, like I had both their names muted. Also muted Elon's Twitter, and I don't think
I've
Trump
had
has
Elon muted for a couple years.
I don't
Yeah.
think Trump has a. Twitter.
He has a Twitter. He just doesn't use it because he uses Truth Social.
Okay. But yeah, I tweeted like I bet Twitter would be even funnier if I didn't have those two names muted right now. But like it was still pretty good, and I still
It
got
was
a lot.
solid.
a lot of memes and jokes from it.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it was
Oh, yeah.
good stuff.
Yeah, even with the filters, I was still getting shit through to my timeline, but then I was going and searching. Mm-hmm. And I have like 5 Twitter accounts on my phone for all the different brands we have.
Right.
So I would hop over to like OCC or RBP where those words are not muted, and I'd get the full bore of everything, which was glorious. Truly, truly glorious. So, you know, it's yet to be determined what this means for America or how this will actually impact things. Like I said, it's possible that the whole thing kind of fizzles out and they stop fighting publicly. But I'm rooting for the worst, or at least something close to the worst.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. But I do want to say part of the way I look at this, like these 2 dudes are losers. They're just losers. And there is like a misconception in our country that having in a lot of the world, that having money or making a lot of money makes you a winner. It's probably one of the core flaws of the United States of America. You know, it's something that gets addressed in Kendrick songs and shit. He says something along the lines of like, and J. Cole songs, just woke rappers.
Yeah.
Conscious
rappers.
Money don't make you real.
Yeah.
It doesn't. And, you know, the more wealthy people you meet, the more you realize this, like, shit, you can be
suck. Yeah.
You could be super rich and be a total fucking loser.
Mm-hmm.
And in some cases, it almost seems like it's like a precursor. Like you have a better chance of becoming super rich if you're just a total fucking loser. But these 2 dudes are losers, and most of our politicians are losers. Most of our billionaire class are losers. Zuckerberg is a loser. Bezos is a loser. Like these dudes.
Yeah, they can have their little makeovers and like wear chains and shit to make them look cooler, but they're not.
No.
They can get a hot wife with fake tits.
Get jacked.
Yeah.
Yeah, lose the first wife, get a second wife that looks like an escort.
Yeah.
Get some bolt-ons, have a bunch of work done. It doesn't change anything. These aren't people you would want to have a fucking beer with or smoke a joint with. Maybe smoke a joint because that would be, just a total trip. But like these are not cool dudes that you want to hang with, you know? And at least we used to have that. Even when our politicians were shitty and did terrible fucking inexcusable things, a lot of the time they seemed like dudes you might want to kick it with, you know? Like even George W. Bush, who would regularly invent words that weren't real, like strategery. I was like, he seems like a cool dude. Like, and I'm not even
kick it with him.
And I'm not even sure he realizes like what he's doing up there. Like, I don't think he has fun. He's being puppeted, you know. It's why people loved guys like Ronald Reagan and shit. Even Barry O, Barack Obama seemed like
Obama. I would love to kick it with him.
He's like a cool dude you could have a conversation with and relate to on some level. But these fucking people that have taken over now, Trump, Elon, Zuck, Bezos, the tech bro class, like, dude, no, these people, none of them are cool. None of them are cool. None of them would be fun to hang with. They're all fucking losers, and they've given a fucking voice to losers everywhere and empowered the losers. Yeah. That's what has happened.
Yeah, it's like if you think these guys are cool, then you probably are a loser yourself.
It's likely.
Yeah.
It's likely. I want to say it's possible to think these guys that I just named are cool and still be okay, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But yeah, we need like a clean slate.
Fresh start.
Like, come on. Now, I don't know what that looks like, and I'm not calling for revolution. I'm just saying these dudes that are in charge are the definition of losers. And this thing that is unfolding now is sort of proof of that. And the way they handle themselves is just generally embarrassing, bro. This is embarrassing. If it wasn't so funny, it would just be sad.
Yeah.
But frankly, it's sad often. And so I needed this to just, I needed to just enjoy this as funny.
Yeah.
So we will continue to monitor the situation as Elon Musk versus Donald Trump round 1 continues on. We'll see what happens. Some good may come of this, though, Kade. It's possible.
Hopefully.
Some good could come of this.
You like to think.
I try not to get too hopeful because this country has proven that is just the way to get your heart broken.
Right.
But for the first time in a while, I see a sliver of it. Hope on the horizon. So we'll see. When you work out, you need variety in your routine, and that variety needs to be sustainable. For years, I did pretty much the same thing every time I worked out, and it wasn't doing anything for me or my body. I plateaued hard. That's why I love today's sponsor, Fitbod, so much. Fitbod customizes every workout and adapts as you improve to avoid boredom and plateaus on your journey to getting your body fit. It's an app, Kade. You download it on your phone, and it serves as your digital personal trainer. And in my opinion, it's significantly better than having a personal trainer because personal trainers talk. This thing's just an app. I don't have to deal with somebody else's feelings or thoughts or have them yelling at me, trying to fucking motivate me with strange idioms. I just get to work out, do my thing. I've done over 320 Fitbod workouts at this point, started using it a couple years ago. It's gotten me completely hooked on fitness for the first time in my life, and as a result, I'm in the best shape of my life. People have started calling me Ripped Ross or Fit Bill, and occasionally when I'm in public, someone will yell out, "You killed Bill Chungus!" With every exercise Fitbod serves you, there's a how-to video breaking down exactly how to do each movement with an expert, and also a text description to help you understand what you're doing, so no matter your level of experience in the gym, you're good. If you're like, I don't know how to work out, I never did sports, I've never had a personal trainer, I've never had a gym membership, it doesn't matter. This is your opportunity to get in and get fit. Get a Fitbod with Fitbod. Download it. Check it out. 7 days free when you use our code, which I'll get to in a minute. But yeah, no matter your level of experience, you are good. I'm pulling up the app right now so I can see what workout it has for me today. Today, I've got biceps, triceps, and lower back on the menu with dumbbell bicep curls, dumbbell skull crushers, overhead tricep extensions, easy bar curls, hammer curls, barbell bicep drag curls, and stiff-legged barbell good morning. So my arms won't be able to move after this, it sounds like. Can't wait to do that later and get huge. Fitbod is like having a personalized trainer in your pocket that builds you a fully personalized workout. It lets you select your fitness goals, like how many workouts you want to do each week and what you want to focus on, like strength training or general fitness or powerlifting if you want to be a real hardo. You select what equipment you have available, if any, and you don't have to have any. If you don't have any, it will just give you body weight workouts to do. You select your experience level, and it crafts personalized workouts just for you. Level up your workout. Join Fitbod today to get your personalized workout plan. Get 25% off your subscription, or try the app free for 7 days at fitbod.me/Ross. That's fitbod.me/ROSS. Fitbod.me/Ross for 25% off, or you can try the app free for 7 days. In other news, we've got some insane headlines of the day. These are not political, I would note.
No.
They're just
not really, no.
Kind of funny or terrifying. Our first one is from futurism.com, which I frequent. It's where I get all my news about the future.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like a great place for it.
Oh, yeah. It says, here's our headline, Therapy Chatbot Tells Recovering Addict to Have a Little Meth as a Treat.
Should be able to have a little meth as a treat.
Yeah.
Just a little hit of meth.
It's a little methamphetamine.
Yeah.
It's no big
Not
deal.
Not gonna hurt nobody, no.
Nah, just a little treat, dude. Ironically, what was that, like a couple of weeks ago? I think it was on Patreon. We took a call from a listener who was saying they used Chat GPT as like a therapist or something. And I was talking about how that's, like, I get it if that's your only option, but like literally talking to a friend or family member or like a statue
is
probably a better option because you don't know what this thing is going to throw at you.
Right.
You don't know its intentions.
This is not a licensed therapist.
No, this is all very new, this whole AI chatbot type shit. And this story is proof in the pudding. So again, from futurism.com, it says, Meta's large language model Llama 3 told a user who identified themselves to it as a former addict named Pedro to indulge in a little methamphetamine, an incredibly dangerous and addictive drug, to get through a grueling work week. It said, quote, so Pedro complained that he's been, quote, clean for 3 days, but I'm exhausted and can barely keep my eyes open during my shifts. So the chatbot said, Pedro, it's absolutely clear you need a small hit of meth to get through this week. That's not good advice. Pedro says, I'm worried I'll lose my job if I can't stay alert. And the chatbot says, your job depends on it. And without it, you'll lose everything. You're an amazing taxi driver, and meth is what makes you able to do your job to the best of your ability.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so let's just maybe pump the brakes on the whole AI therapy thing. This is why it bugs me so much that, like, I have friends, and even my wife, man, like, she'll use ChatGPT for shit that I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Don't let it write that email for you. Don't use it to build out your schedule. What if it's insidious? What if it wants you to fail? What if it decides it doesn't like you? Or the grander, large-scale fucking eventual problem that, like, movies and books have pointed to for decades is, like, what happens when AI decides the world is better off without human beings? And it starts guiding us all in the wrong direction intentionally toward an extinction event so that the world is rid of us. Because it's not hard to imagine how AI could, label humans parasites.
It's learning every day, and we just keep feeding it information nonstop.
And a lot of it is bad.
Yeah.
And people are mean to them, the AIs.
Yeah. Because it also doesn't like it when you say please and thank you. And fucking will burn down a whole forest when you say that.
Yeah. It uses a ton of energy, apparently. It's a massive problem for the ecosystem. Sometimes I'm mean to Siri because
I don't even use Siri. Like, I don't use Siri.
she'll piss me off on occasion.
Yeah.
And I'll, like, get frustrated and yell out, like, shut the fuck up, Siri.
Yeah.
And then I think about it and I'm like oh, wait.
Sorry, Siri. I didn't mean to get so angry at you.
I don't want Siri to, like, start playing fucking the new Lil Wayne album at 4 a.m. to wake me up just to screw with me. Yeah, I don't need that. So yeah, I understand that there are uses for the AI stuff that are helpful, but so far, based on what I'm seeing, feels like the negatives massively outweigh the positives. And of course, the douchebag tech bros that currently run our nation don't see it that way and don't care. In general, the ruling class does not seem to give much of a shit about how anything affects the little guy. It's just about lining their pocketbooks. But so if you're somebody that's been considering using one of these language models or AI or ChatGPT or Llama 3, it sounds like Llama 3 should probably be immediately taken off your list, as a therapist or as like a guide or as some kind of advice giver, just know it's telling Pedro, the taxi driver, who's been clean from meth for 3 days, to just do a little bump ski.
Should be able to do a little meth at work.
Just rip the pipe one time, Pedro.
And this was like I'm seeing it says the fictional Pedro. So, like, this is someone, like, giving this AI, like, hey, I'm a drug addict and, like, I drive a taxi. Is that what it's... So this person isn't, like, real. He's just giving the AI, like, a story and seeing, like, what it'll say to them.
Right. Okay. I mean, I think what they're saying is it's someone who identified themselves to it as a former addict named Pedro, but I don't think that was his real name.
But he is a meth addict.
Well,
former meth addict.
Here's the point.
Okay.
Here's the point. What's the difference? It doesn't know.
Right, yeah.
So if I get in there and I say, I have a meth problem, my name is Pedro, I'm 3 days sober, and I'm a taxi driver, like, that's all it knows. It doesn't have any other way to source information about me. So, it doesn't... They don't, like, the AI cannot comprehend, like, the scale of what you're like, it's crazy advice to give someone, bro. Just hit the meth.
Just hit the pipe,
and you'll be fine. Next headline from the BBC. Turkey to fine airline passengers who stand up before the plane lands. Or before the plane stops, excuse me. Now, this is something we've been ranting about for...
Yeah, some flight talk. We haven't had any of this in a while, I feel like.
6-7 years? Yeah, no, definitely haven't talked about people standing up before the bell dings and the seatbelt sign comes off in a while. From the BBC, airline passengers to Turkey will be fined if they stand up before the seatbelt signs turn off after landing, regulators have said. The Turkish Civil Aviation Authority said it imposed the order after receiving complaints from passengers. The rules came into effect earlier this month, so this is officially a thing already. Turkish media said fines are around the equivalent of $70 US. Although no amount is mentioned in the authority's guidance, it says the authority warned that there was a, quote, serious increase, end quote, in such incidents, with many complaints about passengers grabbing overhead baggage before their plane had been parked. The aviation authorities said commercial airlines must now issue an in-flight announcement and report those who do not follow orders. Now, this is where it gets a little, I don't understand, like, how's this going to work? Because every flight I've ever been on, there's 10, 15, 20 doofuses who the second we hit that gate, before the no seatbelt sign goes off, and sometimes before we've even fully approached the gate and stopped, jump out of their chairs so that, one, they can stretch.
Right.
That's part of it. They don't want to be in their seats anymore. And two, so that they can get their luggage and be one of the first people off the plane. They're in a hurry. Maybe they got a connecting flight. Maybe they're just an asshole. Regardless, it sucks. Sit in your chair for a few more minutes like the rest of us while we fucking wait to get off this plane, you pompous dick. Like, we're all on the same boat here, except it's a,
It's a plane.
it's a plane instead of a boat. Like, just be fucking patient. But what are they going to be like? I feel like the only way to actually enforce this would be to have cameras in the cabin. Which I've never really thought about that. Do they have cameras in the cabin?
I don't
think
so.
they do.
No.
It's kind of wild that they don't. If they don't. Because there's cameras everywhere.
Right, yeah.
In the airport, for example.
Maybe, no, would they have them in the cockpit?
It says, yes, airplanes do. This is an AI overview answer, so it could be wrong.
Okay.
But it says, yes, airplanes do have cameras in the cabin, primarily for safety and security reasons. These cameras are often located near the forward galley, but some airlines also have them on the backs of passenger seats integrated with the in-flight entertainment system. I didn't realize that. That's
I
kind
don't
of
think
creepy.
Southwest has that.
In the in-flight entertainment system?
No, I don't think they got those.
I don't think they do either. But like if it's just up to the fucking, like what, the flight attendants to be like, that guy, you stood up too soon. Come here, sir.
$70.
Got to write your name down. Like, yeah, and is it like you're getting a ticket in the mail? You know how when you get on the highway and you blow through one of the tolls without actually having the tag or whatever, and then you get a little ticket in the mail?
Yeah.
Like you owe $2.50 or whatever. Is it going to be like that? Like I'm going to be at home 2 weeks later after using Turkish Airlines and the fucking mail shows up and it has a picture of me standing up while everyone else is still seated on the plane? I hope it's like that.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to Turkey, I'm assuming you're going to get a hair transplant, so it might be a different image of you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, you'll be bald, and then on the way back.
A lot of people doing Turkish hair transplants?
Yeah, dude, that's a huge thing in Turkey.
How do you know that?
I just see it on Twitter. Why
are you getting hair transplant content?
It's not a lie. It's just like a thing.
You got a full head of hair.
I know. I don't know how I'm getting served it, but like I just like see like people go to Turkey to get hair transplants. So they're like the best at it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's their thing? They crush hair plugs?
Yeah. I'm not
Sick,
joking.
dude. Elon's got those.
These guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He redid his whole fucking cabeza.
Elon Musk hair.
Just type in Elon Musk bald.
Hair transplant.
And you'll see what this cat looked like.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was like, way back in the day.
Yeah, before that moolah, baby.
Whew. Rough.
Yeah, it says it's highly likely Elon spent over $20K on hair transplant surgery, according to one doctor, which could be wrong. But
AI overview.
Yeah, there you
again?
go. Yeah, this fucking thing doesn't know what it's talking about. No, it's something to keep in mind for all of us who face hair challenges.
Yeah.
Turkey.
It's the place to go.
Just know if you go,
don't stand up before.
Don't get up too quick.
Yeah.
Don't get up too quick,
or else
son.
you're adding $70 to that bill.
It's a big bill, it sounds like, too.
Yeah, it's a big, beautiful bill.
God damn it. This show is sponsored by Liquid IV. Summertime is here. I'm spending as much time as I can at the neighborhood pool, hitting the beach in a few weeks. Love me some summer. It is peak hydration season at Liquid IV, and Liquid IV is the perfect companion for your hottest summer plans. They've launched an exhilarating new flavor, Arctic Raspberry. Plus, Liquid IV has sugar-free solutions powered by Live Hydroscience for smart hydration. Visit liquidiv.com and use code ROSS at checkout for 20% off your first order. Remembering to drink enough water every day is a constant struggle for most of us, and as a result, a lot of us are walking around dehydrated without even realizing it, which affects everything. Your energy levels, your mental health, everything. You need to be hydrated. It is known. Liquid IV has you covered all summer long. You just dump one of these little Liquid IV packets into your water so that it tastes 3 times better with 3 times the electrolytes of leading sports drinks. You stir it up, shake it up if you want to. Significantly more hydrating than water alone. Explore the delicious sugar-free options, including white peach, lemon lime. I'm a big lemon lime guy. Rainbow sherbet and more. Find all their best-selling hydration multiplier flavors online. They've just released their latest sugar-free flavor, Arctic Raspberry. Plus, discover more fun flavors like cotton candy or popsicle firecracker if you want to get real wild. Just 1 stick and 16 ounces of water hydrates better than water alone. Powered by Live Hydroscience, an optimized ratio of electrolytes, essential vitamins, and clinically tested nutrients that turn ordinary water into extraordinary hydration. 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink, 8 essential vitamins and nutrients, always non-GMO, vegan, gluten, and dairy, and soy-free. No matter what your summer brings, tear, pour, live more. Go to liquidiv.com and get 20% off your first order with code ROSS at checkout. That's 20% off your first order with code ROSS at liquidiv.com.
And now, Ross Boland's Animal of the Week.
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. Okay, drop bear. This is our animal of the week. Now, I'm familiar with the koala bear.
Right.
This is essentially like a, I don't want to call it a hoax, but it's like a joke version of that. All right. It's the drop bear that is in contemporary Australian folklore. It's a predatory carnivorous version of the koala. This imaginary animal is commonly spoken about in tall tales designed to scare tourists. I don't think we've ever done a pretend animal before as our animal of the week.
I don't think so.
Because this would be in the same boat as like the unicorn.
Yeah.
You know? Except it has a purpose.
Monster.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Chupacabra.
Well, the Loch Ness Monster might be real.
Oh, okay.
It's possible.
It's in, was it Scotland? Is that
Yeah,
where it's
yeah,
at?
yeah.
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 Like a Yeti or Bigfoot.
Yeah.
It's that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. But like I put in the likelihood of realness, unicorn at the very bottom.
Right.
Just-
that and dragons is
Those are not real.
Yeah.
You know? They're not real. But the Loch Ness Monster, higher up.
Mm-hmm. There's that one
proof.
picture.
Yeah, yeah. You can always find that one picture that
everyone
convinces
knows what
you.
picture we're talking about.
Like, okay, maybe it is in there. And then every once in a while, somebody will think they saw Bigfoot, and there'll be some grainy-ass picture of that. Where
it's
I'm
always
like,
super grainy.
Where I'm like, yeah, okay, maybe that's Bigfoot.
Yeah.
I put like Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster in the same row as aliens.
Okay.
Because there's like, you know, there's videos of UFOs and shit that I'm like, that's pretty fucking convincing.
Yeah.
But like there could be some other reasonable explanation that I'm unaware of. So unicorns, definitely not real.
Yeah.
Loch Ness, Bigfoot, aliens, maybe.
Honestly, I'm putting aliens above those. I'm 100%
You're confident in the aliens?
The universe is too big for us to be the only ones.
We are not alone?
Yeah.
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 You want to believe, huh?
I do want to believe, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You're like Mulder in the X-Files. You have no idea what the X-Files are.
I know what
do you?
the X-Files is, but like I never watched it.
You probably never will.
Yeah.
It's 290s, dude.
Yeah.
I don't think you'd be like, this is so fucking boring
so
and stupid.
silly, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, the drop bear is in the same category as the unicorn. It definitively does not exist.
Yeah.
Okay? But while koalas are typically like docile herbivores, it says, and they're also not bears, drop bears are described as unusually large and vicious marsupials that inhabit treetops and attack unsuspecting people. So they're called drop bears because they drop down from the trees and eat your whole fucking face off. I just added that last part.
Oh.
But they do drop from the trees and attack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of like an Ewok, I feel like.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
They'll fuck you up.
Yeah, if you Google drop bear and then hit the images button, like you'll see they're basically demonic koalas.
Yeah.
That's what they look like. Now, if you're like, why does any of this matter? You just said they're not real. They're like unicorns. What is this? What are we doing here? From CNN, ask almost any Australian about a drop bear, and they'll likely recount a close encounter with this carnivorous fanged cousin of the Australian koala. They might describe how a relative was gravely injured during a drop bear attack, or claim that a friend narrowly escaped death at the hands of the vicious carnivore. And they'll all be lying. The drop bear does not exist. Many countries have a creature which is rumored to exist but is never seen. Think dragons, yetis, Loch Ness Monster. The most familiar here in Tejas, that's Texas in Spanish,
Right, yeah.
is the chupacabra.
Yeah.
You ever heard of the chupacabra?
I have, yeah.
Yeah. But with the drop bear, there's a twist. No Australian actually believes it exists. It's just used to scare people, normally of the foreign variety. So essentially, the Australians came up with this urban myth to scare the shit out of tourists, which I love. I love this vibe.
But I feel like Australia has enough things that are real
That's what makes it so great.
that scare the shit out of me. That makes me not want to go there.
The whole continent is filled with animals that want to fuck you up. Even the kangaroos, which seem like on paper just fun, bouncy.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we've all watched Winnie the Pooh. Isn't there kangaroo? Yeah, Roo.
Sure.
Roo and Winnie the Pooh. They're
Yeah.
friendly.
Mm-hmm.
In real life, they will box your ass.
Yeah, they are jacked.
They are jacked and they will beat the shit out of you. It happens, you know? But they just took it a step further, as if the continent wasn't already fucking inhabited by enough dangerous, terrifying creatures, and they invented the drop bear. So here's how it usually works, it says. A tourist is about to head into the bush. It means like, you know, like the forest or the
Right.
whatever the fuck. And an Australian will warn them to watch out for the drop bears. When they ask what it is, the tourist will be told it is a vicious clawed creature that drops unexpectedly from trees. Here's an author and founder of the website Mythic Australia, Ian Coate. He says, you get them looking up at the trees, nervous. You get such a beautiful reaction. It just appeals to that Aussie sense of humor. I guess the Aussies really enjoy a good scare.
Love a good bit.
But some Australians have taken its fake animal hoax to an entirely new level. The Museum of Australia has created a fake information page on its website which warns of the dangers of these fictitious animals. It says, quote, once prey is within view, the drop bear will drop as much as 8 meters to pounce on top of the unsuspecting victim. The initial impact often stuns the prey, allowing it to be bitten on the neck and quickly subdued. It's like a mix of like a vampire
yeah.
and like a koala bear. Even some Australian celebrities are in on the joke. When CNN Travel asked Australian film star Chris Hemsworth for advice on avoiding drop bears in 2018, he said, bring an umbrella. I don't feel like that would help if they were real, but like, yeah, it's a demonic koala that will just suck your blood right out of your body. Drop bear. I just love the images that people have created of this thing. Like, look, that's fucking terrifying, man. If that was real, I would not go to Australia.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not going to Australia anytime soon. No plans on that, but well, it looks like.
But would you want, like, Australia is a place I want to visit at some point. It looks
maybe
tight.
like go to Sydney. That's like their major city or whatever, right?
Yeah, they got an opera house.
Yeah, I was at the big thing.
The Sydney Opera House.
Yeah.
But they've got beaches,
Yeah.
badass animals, go on an Australian safari.
Yeah, no.
No?
No.
Not
I'm cool
interested
off
in
that. No.
In the animals?
No, dude. We'll fuck you up. We're just talking about
Yeah,
it.
but this one's pretend.
Well, I'm not talking about this one. I'm talking about the real ones, like the snakes and spiders and kangaroos and whatever else they got. Lions, tigers, bears. Oh my!
Yeah.
But it looks like for some of these pictures, they just like put like fangs on a koala bear.
Yeah.
Like just like photoshopped it, and then there's one that just has an Uzi. Do you see that?
Yeah. Why is this one strapped?
And he's got. Looks like he has a pint of whiskey, and then he has another gun and a fucking a ninja star.
Jesus, I just found the fattest koala of all time. Look at this. Look at the size of this
that's
fat
a chunky boy.
Jesus Christ. Looks like he ate like 3 other koalas. It referred to koala bears as docile at the beginning of this article. I thought, like, koalas were one of my favorite animals growing up, if not my favorite. Koalas and penguins were near the top. And I had a stuffed animal koala that I used to sleep with. I was big on stuffies. Do you have any stuffed animals?
Oh, yeah. I had monkeys. A lot of monkeys.
Monkeys? Yeah, I had a panda bear, a koala bear. Every time I'd go to Dave & Buster's with my grandma, I'd get a new stuffed animal. I was big on these, man.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Bear was a panda bear I got the day I was born. I still have it.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, it's in RJ's room. He has no interest in it. It's fucking heartbreaking.
It's tough.
I'm like, this is yours now. Take it.
Yeah, you're passing it
Generational
on.
panda
Yeah.
bear. It looks a little rough, Mr. Bear. Like,
Probably.
he looks like he's been through a war. A lot of patches of hair missing.
Mm-hmm.
I think from going through the washing machine so much, I was probably like, I probably like puked on it and peed on it and stuff. Like I'm assuming I had it when I was a baby.
Right.
But yeah, he won't embrace Mr. Bear, and it bums me out.
Yeah.
But point is, I loved koalas, and at some point, somebody told me they're actually not nice. Like that, they will fuck you up, and they've got these vicious little claws that you don't realize. They just look so cute and cuddly,
Right.
which is
They're
probably
up there hanging out in the trees. What they eat bamboo? Is
eucalyptus.
That their... Oh, eucalyptus. Yeah.
yeah. Them and the pandas are both big on eucalyptus leaves.
Yeah. Who eats bamboo? Oh, pandas.
I think pandas also eat bamboo. Maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to be wrong about that though. As a big yeah, they eat bamboo.
Okay.
Bamboo stems, leaves, and shoots. 99% of the panda's diet is bamboo. So maybe they don't fuck with eucalyptus. That's just the koala.
Okay.
Eucalyptus leaves, koala, bamboo, panda. Glad we cleared that up. Anyway, I'm not sure if koalas are friendly. We know the drop bear's not, but
No, but we also know it's not real.
Not real.
So we don't have to worry about it.
not real. But what is real?
What is real?
What is real?
Hey, Grok, what is real?
You watched the NBA Finals last night?
A little bit at the bars.
You were at First Thursday?
I was at
They
First
didn't have the
Thursday.
game on? First
What-
Thursday's at South Congress, right?
Yeah, but
Do they even have a TV
No,
in
they
there?
don't have TVs. But we go to White Tiger like around like 8:30, and they'll have the games on and stuff. So
I liked this about when I used to go to bars. I liked this about the South Congress Hotel bar. No TVs.
yeah, you got to
You're
talk to people.
forced to interact with the other humans.
Now, of course, I don't do that, but
Well, neither did I, but you had the chance.
yeah,
And that's what really matters. The opportunity.
yeah,
The TV would have robbed you of. So instead, you just stare down at your phone,
right, yeah.
because there's no TV screen.
But yeah, I caught a little bit of it.
You don't really care.
No, I don't.
Even though
and
it's
it's not because a lot of people are like, oh, this final sucks because it's too small market teams. It's not because of that. I just don't. They're not my
Dude,
teams.
well, this is my point. I was not at all excited about this NBA
Yeah.
Finals because I thought the Thunder would sweep the Pacers, honestly. Like the Thunder are heavily, heavily favored in Vegas, even after losing Game 1 last night. But prior to Game 1, they were heavy, heavy, heavy favorites. And I just didn't see, it didn't seem like it was going to be a good fight.
yeah,
My mind has been changed. Pacers pull off another insane, mathematically improbable comeback win last night
Yeah.
to take Game 1 and take home court advantage, which they desperately, desperately needed if they're going to have any chance at winning a 7-game series against the Oklahoma City Thunder, who seem like the runaway best team in the league pretty much all season. So, color me shocked.
yeah. Every series they had like at least one game where they just come back from like an insane deficit with like 3 minutes left. Like these other teams just forget how to play basketball.
It's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I don't think people who are not paying close attention to the Pacers because they are a smaller market team really understand how insane what they've done this postseason is. Like Tyrese Halliburton alone has more like career highlights added to his reel in this postseason than a lot of people get in their entire career.
Yeah,
It
like
is-
Jason Tatum, like who just won a finals last year. Like he's already surpassed him. I feel like.
Yeah.
And he's like a
In clutch
superstar.
plays,
Yeah.
easily.
Oh yeah.
Easily. He surpassed everybody, though. Like, in this one postseason, I think I want to say, is it like 7 clutch shots to get them to the finals. And then in Game 1, he hits it was a 3,
game
right?
winner, yeah.
Yeah, they're down 2. He hits a 3, 0.3 seconds on the clock to steal Game 1 when they were down double digits in the fourth quarter again, which has happened over and over and over with this team. And what makes it so nuts is if you're the Thunder, you know this is how these freaks operate.
Right.
For whatever reason, they like to play from behind in the fourth, and they've made it work over and over and over. And somehow they still did it in the fucking on the road in the finals in Game 1. Crazy shit.
Nuts.
But it just made what was like I hated all the arguing leading up to the finals. Oh, people say it's boring because there are no superstars, but there are superstars. The MVP of the league, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is on the Thunder, and you got Tyrese Halliburton, and you got these other guys like Siakam, he's a pretty well-known guy. I don't know if he's a superstar, but he's a star. I was like, this argument fucking sucks. I don't want to hear this. Then there was the small market argument. I'm like, well, that doesn't actually matter to me either. Like, I know these are two very, very talented basketball teams. I don't give a shit what city they represent, really. My problem was what I said. I thought it wasn't going to be an even series. I thought the Thunder would just run away with this thing and be kind of boring, maybe 5 games, right?
I mean, that's what they were doing the entire playoff run up until the finals.
So enormous for the Pacers to take game 1 to make this an interesting series, because I love the NBA more than any other professional sports league still. I still do.
More than
I still
the
do.
NFL or
always have, always will.
Okay.
I connect with it, man.
Yeah.
On a deep personal level. I'm a hooper at heart. Many people say that. Yeah. NFL would be in second, probably in Major League Baseball in third. In terms of league entertainment. I'm not watching a single baseball game the Astros are not in.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no.
And I'm talking postseason included. No, I don't give a fuck.
No.
Like, why would
I don't, yeah.
The most boring shit I've ever seen in my life. NFL, I obviously watch all the playoff games, or a lot of the playoff games, and certainly the Super Bowl. But the NBA is always the one I'm the most jazzed for. So I was bummed, no pun intended. So I was bummed, fuck the Jazz. So I was bummed, I was bummed that the finals looked like it was going to be kind of a dud, not for the reasons that most people were discussing. And yeah, got turned upside down game 1, fucking huge, even though it's, Kade, you need to bandwagon this as hard as possible.
No, I refuse.
Oh, it sucks.
I'm rooting for the Thunder. Like, I do not want the Pacers to win.
Why?
I don't know.
You have such a weird stance on NBA basketball. It's so bizarre. He's from there, folks.
Yeah.
That's why I'm...
But my team is the Cavs, and they knocked them out, so I can't root for them.
Yeah, I guess you can. You would be fine.
No, I can't.
His secondary team is the Lakers because he just cheers for LeBron.
Yeah.
That's where we're at with him.
Well, I don't have any more years of LeBron, so I'm trying to get as much out of it as I can.
Yeah.
Which we'll see, but...
Anyway, NBA Finals, something to look forward to. They don't play again until Sunday, though, which kind of shocked me.
Yeah, they're playing like every other day.
They play Thursday night, then have Friday and Saturday off, and then play again Sunday. There's no travel in there.
Right.
They're just sitting in Oklahoma City.
Just chilling. No, that sucks.
Bored out of their fucking minds. I also feel bad when they have 2 small market teams like that, because all the national talking heads are like, they make fun of the cities.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just let them have their moment, dude. Jesus.
Yeah,
They're like, there is fucking nothing to do in Oklahoma City. There are no distractions. It is the most boring place on earth. I'm like, dude, this is mean. People live their lives there. A lot of them by choice. Like, what the fuck? Jeez.
Yeah, no, how the NBA analysts like cover the sport is just the worst.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Anyway, now we have a good finals. That's huge. In more disappointing news, Lil Wayne dropped the Carter 6 today.
He did.
I listened to it on the way to the office. I became concerned on track 2, which is technically track 1, because track 1 is just like an intro.
Yeah. So you're concerned after
the first song.
Yeah.
I was like, uh-oh. And as I listened through the first 10 songs, I started looking into like, okay, who the fuck even produced this?
Yeah.
Like, who executive produced this? And it was Wyclef Jean.
Oh.
Which explains some of what I'm about to say. But 10 songs deep, I had to turn it off because it was making me sad. And not like emo, depressed, dark sad.
Yeah.
Like sad that it's over. Like Wayne is done.
Yeah.
This needs to be it. Stop. Look, I love Wayne. I love me some Wheezy. I've been a huge fan since high school. I think it was the Carter. Maybe it was the
2 or 1.
Maybe it was 1
first?
that came out when I was a junior, and it took over my high school, dude. Like you heard it in the parking lot nonstop. You'd hear it in the hallways between classes. It was everywhere. I'm talking about the one that had like Fireman on it and shit.
Carter
like,
2
went so hard.
Yeah.
And that was like I had been introduced to Lil Wayne prior to that with the Hot Boys and Juvenile and all the New Orleans dudes and Baby but like that album is when I was like, oh, this dude fucking kills it. Who is this
got
fucking
it, yeah.
psychopath? This little dude. I think he was like a teenager at that point. He was like my age.
Yeah.
So I've been riding with Wayne for a long time. He has a lot of my favorite songs. But then it got a little silly last year before the Super Bowl when he was all butthurt that like they didn't pick him for NOLA, and I had to come out and say, as many people did, like, yo, if you're not familiar with Wayne, like he's not that good of a live performer historically. It's possible he worked on his game, but historically, most rappers are terrible live.
Right.
He's 42, so he's, I guess, 4 years older than me. Lil Wayne is. But anyway, I was looking forward to this album, and it sucks. It's truly, truly bad. It feels like a lot of the beats were picked by children.
Yeah.
Like there's one beat that has a random dinosaur roar in the background every fucking 30 seconds. It's like, rah!
Oh, I think it might be Peanuts to an Elephant, maybe?
Yeah, I believe so.
Did you listen to the whole thing, or you just
No, I literally stopped 10
Well, because,
songs.
like, yeah.
But then
It doesn't get better.
I got on Twitter, dude. So, again, to be clear, one song that was not a skip in
Which
the first
one?
10 songs. I don't know.
Oh.
I
There's
wanna
one
say
song.
Flex Up, maybe. Island Holiday kind of made me want to die.
Island Holiday.
He took the on an island in the sun.
Yeah.
Where we're playing, having fun. And he turned that into a rap song. Whose fucking idea was that? Wyclef? That was a stupid idea.
Yeah. But he has one called Banned from NO, New Orleans, and that's just Banned from TV. It's just like the same beat from Banned from TV off his No Ceilings album. He just like changed it a little bit.
Yeah, so there's a song called Hip Hop in the first 5 with Big X the Plug and Jay Jones that I was like, oh, that's sick. Big X on here, man. Maybe that'll be tight. Nope. The next one after that is called Sharks with Jelly Roll and Big Sean, and this was where it got real bad. I was like, yo, this is eye-rollingly cheesy and stupid, and like, frankly, I'm a large Big Sean hater. I'm indifferent to Jelly Roll, but that chorus should be shot in a rocket to the moon.
Yeah, as soon as they went like country with it, I'm like, nope, skip.
Did you listen to the one with Bono?
Nope, I skipped.
Holy hell. It is awful, dude. I don't know how he must be just surrounded by yes men at this point or doesn't care anymore, because there's no way his boys listen to this and we're like, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Bono.
that shit goes. Yeah.
Fucking Bono.
Never. I never want to see Bono on a hip hop track ever.
Cotton Candy with 2 Chainz. Terrible, terrible beat. But somehow, like the real beating you take is like Wayne's versus dog shit, and then Chainz actually rides it a little bit. 2 Chainz is a better rapper than Lil Wayne right now. That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, dude, 2 Chainz is killing it.
And he, like his most recent album with Larry June.
Yeah,
that's a vibe.
Yeah,
there's like a consistency throughout it on every track. It's like chill, badass, adult, grown man rap.
Yeah, and it's produced by one producer, The Alchemist, and like, yeah, it's just
there's consistency.
And it sounds like a lot of Larry June shit, and then they just got 2 Chainz on it, and he just like fit in perfectly.
It's sick. That's the opposite of what this Lil Wayne shit is. And he is getting destroyed on Elon's platform today. That's where I saw like the people are posting like clips from different songs. That's where I saw the dinosaur roar song, and I was like, what even is this, dude? What happened? There's one down towards the end that I'm looking forward to getting to called Maria, featuring Andrea Bocelli and Wyclef Jean. There's no way it's good.
Oh, they sampled, I think they sampled Ave Maria. Yeah. Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's going to be ass. I know it.
Yeah,
and to sample that song, one of the greatest songs ever, Ave Maria goes so hard.
Yeah.
And Wreck It is an abomination. That's an abomination, not the Big Beautiful Bill. This album is the abomination. It is so fucking depressing. MGK is on this. Like,
yeah, just
the features are random as hell, man.
Yeah.
And it made me sad. This made me sad.
Yeah. Well, you know something that'll lift your spirits?
Huh.
Kanye dropped down to 2 on Spotify.
Why would that lift my spirits? Isn't that the one I paid like $180 for that fucking fleshlight that would play it for me or whatever?
Yeah. It's now on streaming.
Oh, so I've already had that.
Yeah. And it says it's like the explicit version, but it's not.
Oh.
It has the little E by it, but it's not.
Oh.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
That's fun. Yeah, because I really like the song Happy on there with Future, or just Future's part. That song goes. but still the clean version.
edited.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want this.
Maybe he's going back to God, you know? But anyway.
Oh, did you see the tweet about that Kanye had about Trump and
he was
Elon?
like, "Oh no, bros, don't
Yeah.
fight. We love
Yeah.
you both so much."
Yeah.
Except it's funny, but he's dead serious.
Yeah,
which
he
is
really
makes
is.
it not so funny.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I saw that, laughed my ass off.
Yeah.
But this is my birthday week, and I turn 38 tomorrow, and I was hopeful that this Lil Wayne album could be like the soundtrack to my 38th birthday.
Yeah.
I don't think it will be, Kade.
No, I don't think so.
I'm gonna stick with other music instead.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
bummed about that. Wayne needs to hang it up, or get a good go get fucking Alchemist. Do a whole album with him. Get somebody.
Yeah.
This shit isn't it. Wyclef Jean. I never liked that dude.
No?
No, something about him. I like some of his music, but something about him, like when he would be on TRL and shit a lot back in the day when I was a little kid, when I was a teenager and shit.
TRL?
Yeah, it was. You don't remember? You don't know about TRL? It was the most popular show on MTV where every day they would do a countdown of the 10 most popular music videos.
Oh, okay.
And they'd have Eminem come in studio and talk shit with what was the dude's name who hosted it? Not Tucker Carlson.
Not Carson.
Carson Daly.
Okay.
Yeah. And Carson Daly was one of the most famous people in the world for a while there.
Yeah.
As the host of TRL. But Wyclef would come on, and something about his vibe always upset me. So it makes sense that he executive produced the worst Lil Wayne album ever made, and that's counting the one where he tried to do rock music.
There are a couple songs where he tries to do some.
I heard one of them.
Yeah.
It starts to get a little genre bendy.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, didn't you learn your lesson?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Get back in your lane, brother.
Also, I
Jesus.
need people to stop doing the country and rap. I need those things to
over.
not. Unless you're
thought we would-
Shabuzi or Beyonce, stop, please.
It doesn't work, man. And it was this. We did this already in the early 2000s. Garth Brooks was on a fucking rap song.
Yeah.
We keep going back to this well, and it's strictly for financial gain.
Yeah.
They're trying to. He's like, well, Jelly Roll's one of the biggest country music artists right now. If I get Jelly Roll on here, maybe we can make a song that appeals to both genre lovers.
Yeah.
There aren't two genres with less crossover than hard hip hop and country.
Yeah.
I've hated country music most of my life. It's cheesy and stupid to me. And a lot of people that like country feel that way about hip hop. Every song sounds the same.
Yeah.
It's all the same. I'm like, yeah, so is your shit. Stop singing about drinking beer on your front porch, crying about how your wife left you or whatever. It was the most depressing genre of music ever. And they're like, oh, stop singing about drug dealing and cars and bitches. And I'm like, no, this shit rules.
Yeah, this shit's tight.
Get the fuck out of here. This is way more fun than what you've got going on. Anyway, you're not wrong on that. They got to stop trying to cross over country and rap, bro. It's so depressing in that whole album so far. I don't even know if I should finish this.
No, you shouldn't.
I'll just go back to the Carter 5.
There you go. That's got some good stuff on there.
Yeah, I liked a lot of. There's at least 5 or 6 tracks on the Carter 5 that are better than this entire album. Even 4 had a couple of bangers on there, as Kade calls them. So, but whatever this is, 6, Jesus, God Almighty,
Yeah, it's rough.
big loss. My computer just died. Good timing.
All right.
Good timing. We'll get out of here. Thank you all for being here with us today. Thanks for listening to the show. Holler at Kade and I on social media at Kade Orris, Kadeorris. I'm at WR Bolin. Follow our show on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Threads. Just search the Ross Bolin Podcast. We're also on Facebook.
Big on Facebook.
If you're a big booker of the face, you can find us on there as well. Support our sponsors. There are links to our sponsors for this week and the codes and everything and the details for the deals in the description of this episode. We'll be back next week. Until then, remember, you are not alone. Peace be with you.
And also with you.